We're talking about high altitude airspace here above flight level 600 in the US. It's currently occupied mostly by military aircraft. In the past decade or so, new entrants like supersonics, hail fixed wing and balloons that operate in different ways than what we've currently seen. It's not just your typical aircraft. And the fact that they're all going to be operating in the same airspace with each other, it proposes a super challenging and interesting problem that we can solve together. My name is Michelle Cady. I'm the ETM Program Manager for the engineering portion of the Class C Upper Airspace Operation Development. I work with Sherry Majaritz, who's developing the concept on this work. Our objective is concept development and engineering analysis to support future high-altitude operations. I wanted to be an engineer since I was little. I picked a track in aerospace engineering because it's clearly the coolest. But it's exciting, honestly. I'm getting to utilize those skills to work in a field and on programs like ETM that really interest me. My real interest is supersonics and high-speed aircraft, but all of these new entrants that are coming up are extremely interesting to me. The thought process behind creating these things, the new atmospheres that they can reach and abilities that they have is just very cool. Our main focus is trying to figure out how exactly that these different aircraft are going to interact. The disparate vehicle types mean that we have to take a different look at how they're going to interact with each other, especially since we're mixing unmanned vehicles with piloted vehicles and fast movers with slow movers. It's a whole different ballgame than what we've seen before. Given the predicted increase in commercial operations in high-altitude airspace, we need a management model that provides flexibility for these operations. We're going to be trying to do this with operator coordination from one level to another and leveraging principles of cooperative separation that we learned through UTM efforts. And we're also going to take into account these unique characteristics of all the high-altitude vehicles and specific operational needs. There's minimal services provided in Upper Class E currently. There are operators that are flying today and they coordinate with ATC as appropriate, but those solutions aren't scalable for how many aircraft and the different types that we anticipate in the future. These vehicles provide communication infrastructure support, internet in areas that don't currently have it. They are able to move around the world and provide it to different locations. Another thing that these vehicles can provide is commercial transportation. That's the supersonics and potentially hypersonic aircraft transporting people at much quicker speeds. Environmental data collection is something else that is on the table. Sampling the atmosphere or scanning for forest fires are all applications that these vehicles are able to provide in this airspace. The current model that we're looking at is a cooperative approach for above flight level 600. Cooperative separation is a traffic management approach that relies on information sharing between the operators. This ultimately provides situational awareness to operators and VFR-like flexibility for high-altitude operations. The FAA's main goal, obviously since this is still our airspace in Upper Class E, is to maintain the safety and equitability between all of the operators.
There are a multitude of new information sharing techniques that we are going to try and utilize. We are currently collaborating with NASA and industry to decide how operators can most effectively communicate and share this airspace with one another.
In this specific project, there's real-world opportunities that these new entrants get to actualize, and it allows operators to decide how they want to interact with each other by agreeing on these community-based rules while we're developing the concept, as opposed to coming in later and just having to follow what's already been established. I want these operations to be realized because I want to be able to fly on a supersonic aircraft one day or get Wi-Fi from balloons in the middle of the ocean. All of these operators provide such unique capabilities. We want to be able to support these operations by promoting Class E airspace management effectively. There's a need for high altitude or stratospheric operations throughout the world. We're hoping that our ETM concept will eventually help to inform other countries' development of stratospheric and high altitude operations. If you want more information, you can go to our ETM website to get an overview of the project and see some current documentation that we have up there.